It is a huge honor for me today to be podcast interviewing John Ubon, a dentist and in Dallas, Texas, and his artist Juan Molano. Did I say that right?
It's Molano. That's
Milano.
Yeah, that was close.
And you're from Bogota, Colombia, right?
Yes, I was born in Bogota.
Is Juan Spanish for John?
Yes.
It is okay.
Yeah.
And I think guys, what you're doing is everything. I mean, they say the number one goal of any species to reproduce and have offspring, and everybody I've ever met has a soft spot for little kids. And if there's one thing little kids don't want to do is go to the dentist and get a shot and get a cavity and a filling. And you guys take that to heart more than anybody I know with your the Molar Man. So let me read your bio. So Dr. John Ubon, that sounds like a bonding agent. Ubon, do you use that?
Oh yes, I've definitely used the bonding analogy many times in my career.
I think you should. I think Mighty Molar Man should come out with his own bonding agent. Dr. John Ubon brings animation, entertainment, and fun to the dental experience with a real passion and special interest in helping the millions of children who suffer from dental phobias and those with special needs overcome their fear and anxiety to get the dental care they need, oftentimes eliminating the need for sedation. Also, Dr. John Ubon believes that many teens and adults do not take their dental health seriously, despite the overwhelming evidence that it affects our overall health and wellness. So he created Mighty Molar Man and Friends to address both of these concerns, as well as providing a solution for all the frustrated parents who battle with their kids to brush. Mighty Molar Man and Friends makes education, dental appointments, and dental hygiene fun. And I'm a big fan of yours, MightyMolarMan.com. For a long time. I love everything you're doing, and the man the graphic artist behind all this on our right is Juan Molano. And Juan Molano, the artist responsible for helping to bring the animated Mighty Molar Man and Friends characters to life in the picture books and cartoons of Molar Town. Juan knew he was an artist when he picked up his first pencil at age 4. So did his uncle, a professional illustrator at a magazine in Bogota, Colombia, Juan's homeland. He showed Juan the ropes, and the young artist was on his way to Alaska specifically, where he continued to explore drawing and painting and also developed a lifelong love of snowboarding. More moves and mentors were in store for Juan. His parents, Christina and Gabriel, who have been very influential in his life, moved the family to the state of Washington. Along the way, discovered wakeboarding as well as storyboarding and adopted animation as his chosen outlet for artistic expression. Taught by animation pros with backgrounds that include such renowned animation studios as DreamWorks and Disney, among others, Juan sharpened his animation skills with many kinds of cartoons and even studied acting and the human form to breathe life into his characters on the screen. After years of working on various animation projects, he found the ideal fit with Mighty Molar Man and Friends, jumping at a chance to animate and illustrate Molar in the new children's book published by Molar Town Productions. When not creating multimedia that takes the bite out of dental visits or dabbling with his oil paints, Juan has fun with his family and friends. So you got to tell me, so how did this all come about? How did Molar Man, what was the idea behind it?
Well, to start off with, my father was an artist, and in his younger years, he was a cartoonist. And he was fascinated with all the early Disney characters and the Marvel characters, Superman, Spider-Man, all of those. He collected comic books. And then he illustrated his own comics as a youngster and as a young adult. So he shared all this with me in my youth, and so it's always kind of been in my blood. And when I had children, my 2 boys, when they started coming into the dentist, it made me very sensitive to their experiences in the dental office, and I started thinking of ways to make it fun for them. So the other thing that was going on at the time was they were starting to really give us resistance to brushing their teeth. About the time they were 5, 6, 7 years old, they're 2 years apart, and so kind of all the history with my father kind of came forth, and I got the idea for Mighty Molar Man. And so we created the first mascot, the superhero of smiles, and it really worked.
Is this the first mascot?
Yes, it is.
And then there's pictures of you floating around in a cape too.
For which one? From the convention, we have Mighty Molar Man out there.
Yeah. So did it help with your boys?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they loved coming into the dentist, and just the whole idea, the whole superhero thing was so powerful, and it made all the difference in the world.
So how did you meet Juan?
Well, there was I replied to a posting for animation in a dentist office. So I was
on what, Craigslist or on what, a newspaper ad or Craigslist or?
Someone had mentioned it to me that they were looking for an animator at a dentist office. So when I went, I called up, I followed up, and I was like, okay, let me see what they have. I was doing freelance at the time, so any animation work that I could rustle up was, always keeping an eye out for that. So when I met Dr. Bond, went into the office, saw the characters that he had originally. Originally it was the 5 characters, right? Bacteria Boy, halitosis, gingivitis, the ones in the book that are on the back cover. So those were the original characters, and what they had was mascots. Yep, those guys right there. So when they had the mascots for them, he spoke about the characters so passionately and what he wanted to do with the kids, and I just saw an opportunity to really bring something different that I hadn't seen in animation, and we kind of took it from there.
Yeah, we definitely saw a void in the dental health industry. I mean, all we really have is the tooth fairy, right? I mean, all these years, and the tooth fairy is really the symbol that we have, and that's a lot for the tooth fairy to bear. Tooth fairy needs a little help.
So describe the characters and what were your thoughts? You have Bacteria Boy, halitosis, I love it, Mighty Molar Man, gingivitis, and canine. That is so cute. They are so adorable.
Yeah, and when you go on the website MightyMolarMan.com, you can click on each character, and their biography will pop up, and you'll see the storyline. And every character's storyline was written to fit into a cartoon series that we have in planning right now, Mighty MolarMan Friends cartoon series.
And is this going to be, the cartoon series, is it going to be like a YouTube video, or is it something the dentist will play in the office, or a book, or?
Well, with the ultimate, there's 2 different, I guess, facets to it, right? We want the cartoons for dentists to be able to play them in all the dental practices, so that when that's a distraction that they're playing for the children, right? So the kids can get into what Mighty Molar Man is and kind of gets them really excited and breaks that fear barrier. So they're like, oh, this is what Mighty Molar Man lives and this is what he does. So it's not as scary as it normally is. And then also on the bigger scope is getting the show on one of the networks. Ultimately is the goal, to have a series with the characters. Because I mean, there's so much that they can teach other than dental, just in health in general. And just a lot of fun stuff that we can do with the characters. I mean, Bacteria Boy as a villain, and graphically what he looks like. I'm gonna do a share screen real quick, just to show you something while we talk about it.
I see Mighty Molar Man. Oh no, that was me.
All right, so MightyMolarMan.com. So when you go to the website. So right now, when you go to the website, it gives you 2 options to go to take the pledge, which is the Mighty Molar Man Pledge, and then to go to MightyMolarMan.com, which shows you all the characters and everything else that we have.
Let's take the pledge right now. Read the pledge.
All right, so we'll take the pledge. So the Mighty Molar Man Pledge.
Now, there's a couple of different versions of it for different age groups. For the super young, it's just a matter of the child, 3, 4, 5, 6 years old, promising to brush their teeth every day. So typically they just look at the Mighty Molar Man plush toy that they're usually holding, and they say, Mighty Molar Man, I promise to brush my teeth every day. And as the picture shows, this is actually a 2-year-old. Her name is Gigi, and she just loves Mighty Molar Man, and as you can see in the picture, it's a big inspiration for her to brush her teeth.
Now, here on the site, we have it so that you can download your certificates, so you can use them at home with your practice, or you can get the Mighty Molar Man certificate, which children can sign, and it says on there, I blank promise to brush my teeth 2 times a day and floss and visit my dentist twice a year. So we can really use it to encourage children. You guys can upload photos to right here on the upload your pledge photos. We have coloring pages for the kids. We have a lot of things here on the site. So that's a certificate. So right now, I'm sure I don't know if you've seen them on Twitter. We're sharing a lot of videos that kids are taking pledges.
And tell them what your Twitter handle is. What is it?
It's Mighty Molar Man is the Twitter. And then on Facebook, we have the Mighty Molar Man and Friends Facebook account, and we also have the Molar in the Mirror. And then we just started with 10 of our most popular characters. They have their own Twitter and Facebook handles. And if you go to MightyMolarMan.com and you see the characters, you'll be able to find all of their direct links to those.
But there's three different pledge scenarios and wordings for the different age groups. Certainly, as the kids get older, then we want them to floss too. So that's included in the older children's pledge. And then for the adults, they are simply taking the Mighty Molar Man Pledge, and then they're challenging a friend, another family, to take the pledge too. And with our practices here in Dallas, for every patient who takes the pledge, we're giving back $25 to needy children and families in our community. So we've set a soft cap at $10,000 per practice. I have 3 practices here in Dallas. So that's $30,000 that we're pledging to give back. And that really spurs and gives our adults a lot of impetus to go ahead and take that pledge. When they hear that it's a give back, then it really inspires them to take the pledge.
That is so cool. So now this is the January 21st. Ryan, I think, can we, instead of, I know we film a month in advance, but can we launch this February 1st because February 1st is National Dental Health Month.
Yes.
Do you guys do anything special for that?
Well, that's the pledge. The pledge is for the month of February is when we're using the give back portion of the pledge. So for the whole month of February, and this is going to be an annual event for us, and that we hope spreads across the country for any practice to be able to do this. You can do it in your practice, anyone can, and it's just an opportunity to offer something new and fresh for your patients and in your community to promote dental health and to promote your practice. So everyone can participate in this. And so the idea of it is just during the month of February, having your patients take the pledge in your practice with the idea that you're going to give back with whatever monetary amount that you want. There's the freedom to do that. But for everyone taking the pledge, we give back. And then we get the total amount for February, and then we have all of 2016 to do that give back in the form of free dental care for needy children and families in your community.
So how do you sign up for this? Like, is it a kit, a box? What is the starter kit? How much is it? Is it all on MightyMolarMan.com? Talk about how you buy this, get it set up in your dental office.
Okay, so for the Mighty Molar Man Pledge, it's free. You go to MightyMolarMan.com and you can download the material you need to engage your patients, right? So what we're encouraging, we have a section on the website when you go to click on the pledge and you scroll down, you'll see superhero practices. So what we want to get as many practices as possible that are already giving back in their community. We want to highlight them. And in order to do so, all we need to know is let us know how you're giving back. If you have a free dental day, whatever it is that you're doing giving back to the community, take the pledge, send us the video or the photos that you took the Mighty Molar Man Pledge, and we'll feature you on there, and we'll just backlink it back to their website or their Facebook account. Again, just to show everybody, like, look, there's a lot of practices that are giving back into the community, and just make it fun for everybody. But it's free right now. It's for the website. Just go on there and download what you need. The box set, if practices want to use the box set for this, you can get them right now through Smile Makers. And so Smile Makers now carries the Molar in the Mirror box set.
What is Smile Makers?
Smile Makers,
www.smilemakers.com.
SmileMakers.com, yeah, and they sell novelty items for dental practices, schools, kind of like an Oriental Trading Company. I think there's a lot of other companies that do similar things.
Oh,
So
where are they out of?
They're a Berkshire Hathaway company.
No kidding.
Yes, they're big dog.
Well,
and
someone bigger must own them. I mean, I doubt Warren owns just a Smile Maker. I mean, is it a bigger parent company that owns it? Is
I
it
believe
like,
I think it's Oriental Trading Company is the parent company that owns them.
huh?
And then the other company that carries the box set is Benco.
Benco.
Yes, yeah. And
What is?
Howard, this is I want to say also this is just our first year. Um, so we just launched MightyMolarMan.com in January of 2015, and the book was published in February of 2015. So we're not even a year old yet, but Benco and SmileMakers are our current retail partners.
Wow. And yeah, I love Chuck Cohen, the CEO of Benco, and his brother Rick, and their father Lawrence. I mean, they're just quality people. So, Smile Maker's mission is to make smiles happen, the premier provider of products used to inspire, motivate, reward, and celebrate. We believe in the power of a smile, and they're out of Spartanburg, South Carolina. So, who's the CEO of that? You know?
I do know the CEO of Smile Makers.
Huh, you know what? It's funny because people say, "Why do you do a podcast every day?" And I say, "It's always the most fun hour of my day." I mean, I'm always meeting super cool, motivated, passionate people in dentistry, and I always learn the most. I think when this show goes down, if it ever peaks out and goes down to zero, I'll still do it every day just for me. So talk about the real world of how this has changed your dental practice. Because at the end of the day, John, you have a dental office in Dallas, Texas. You're a general dentist, but
Correct.
you also do ortho. I
Yeah,
mean, would you call yourself like a kid-oriented practice? I mean, are you kind of like a pediatric dentist in a way that you're
not at
not
all.
specialized?
Not at all. I'm a general dentist with a typical family practice. For my first 10
When you
years,
say typical family, you mean they're all drunks and fighting in your office?
so the first 10 years was just a typical family practice, and then we grew to expand our services when I have an orthodontist team, I have a periodontist team, and we have a pediatric dentist team. So, and they rotate between my three practices. So we call it total patient care. But we created the characters in my family practice before we even expanded into the specialties. They fit very well in any general practice that sees children, which most general practices do. So they're very appealing for any practice with children.
And what are you trying to teach the children? That it's a behavioral daily brushing issue, or is it a dietary issue? I mean,
Well,
and at what age are the kids grasping some of these concepts? I mean, do they? I mean, at 2, I'm sure they're staring off into space. I mean, I'm looking at my granddaughter. She's 4. I mean, she can grasp concepts now, but at 2, what age do you think they
well,
start sinking in, and what are you trying to teach them?
well, let's talk about what we call the Mighty Molar Man experience. This is something that just evolved. We didn't really plan it. But what happened was we had a 3-year-old special needs child come into our practice who had previously been to 2 different pediatric specialist practices and was unsuccessful at getting comfortable at even an examination and routine evaluation. The mom heard about Mighty Molar Man, and she called us and we started a conversation. And we had just published our website, and so we said, why don't you sit down with your child at MightyMolarMan.com and just tour the website, explore the website with your child. And the child's name is Max. She did. She also got the book and the box set, Molar in the Mirror. So Max had the plush toy, and she said immediately his fear and anxiety was lifted. She made an appointment. She brought Max in to one of our practices, and there was absolutely no issues. He successfully completed his appointment, and from there we knew we had something special. And ever since then, this has been the protocol that we've used with all of our new families with young children. We coach the parent to sit down with the child, the same routine at the website. Just go through the site, explore all the characters, listen to our music. We have 2 songs that are available on iTunes, the Mighty MolarMan song and Bacteria Boys song. And
They're also on Spotify.
yeah,
They're on Spotify. And when you go to the website, you'll be able to see like a little karaoke video that we did on there under the fun and games section that highlights the songs. But the kids really react to that. So when they see that, they come in, they're like, oh, this is not as scary because Mighty Molar Man's here. There's posters everywhere of Mighty Molar Man. We have the mascot. So it really breaks that fear barrier for the first initial visit, and it makes it easier for them as moving forward.
it's been unbelievable.
So do you want to? Do you want to? So I'm on iTunes right now. You got the Mighty Molar Man. Is that 3 songs, Ryan? I see 3 songs.
Yeah,
Bacteria Boy, the Mighty Molar Man.
We also have a Mighty
Can you
MolarMan
buy all 3 of those?
brushing version that's 2 minutes for the brushing.
So yeah, that's why there's 2 on there. So there's the Mighty Molar Man, the 2-minute version, and then the Bacteria Boy song, the bad guys.
But don't you think they'll have better health if they brush through the Stairway to Heaven? 7-minute long version. Don't you think that would be better for decay? So, could you play those songs, or would you rather them go to iTunes, or I mean?
You can play them from the website. They're embedded on there, so they can watch them on there. And if they want to play them,
do you want us to embed them on this podcast so the dentist
that'd be awesome.
Can you do that, Ryan? Right on. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Because it just, I mean, it really is. I mean, maybe I'm biased because I have 4 boys and they made me a granddaughter, but I mean, it's just this is such a preventable disease. I mean, if little kids had access to fluoridated water, if they had access to information, if they were motivated, Zig Ziglar said people need deodorant and motivation every day.
Yeah.
And if you can create an environment that motivates them and inspires them and get them thinking about. I always tell the kids that, the only other person besides humans that get cavities is Winnie the Pooh because he eats honey. And you just can't drink sugar all day and eat candy all day. You got to eat what Bambi and Thumper eat because Bambi and Thumper don't brush and they don't get cavities. And I love your special needs stuff. My 2 older sisters went into the nunnery straight out of high school, but my sister, younger than me, Kayleen, who's 13 months younger than me, she's special needs. And it's all about just relating to them with trust.
Yep.
I mean, if she trusts you, she'll work with you. But if she's scared and doesn't trust you, it could be crazy.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and the other thing, Howard, is, with the book, the box set, this is a tool, a specific tool for the millions of parents out there who just battle with their kids to brush. I mean, this is a solution. This is a specific tool solution. I mean, when kids see the Mighty Molar Man plush toy up in that mirror above the sink where they brush their teeth, they get inspired to brush. Parents just do not have to battle with them anymore. We've seen it over and over and over again.
So how do you make money on this? I mean, you spent a lot of time and money and effort. I mean, where do you even make this? Is this made in Texas or China or is that a trade secret?
Canada, and the book published in Canada, and the plush toy in China.
Wow. So how do you make your money back on all this effort?
Well, we haven't. We're early on. We're a startup company. But
how do you plan to make money?
In a lot of different ways. We're building our own boutique entertainment production company. Juan, we have a couple of illustrators that works under Juan now, and that's our goal, is to expand and produce our own content. Have a couple of more animators working with Juan and produce all of our cartoons, a whole book series, more music, full multimedia line of products featuring the characters.
And they heard it here first on the Dentistry Uncensored podcast.
Yes, they did.
Hey, you know what? The Dental Town magazine goes to a 125,000 dentists. You ought to write a story about this and put it in Dental Town magazine. The editor is a dentist in Chandler, Arizona, by the name of Tom Giacobbe. He's been the editor since like 1990 or year 2000 or something. But
Okay.
yeah, it's Tom at dentaltown.com or Tom at farranmedia.com. But yeah, you should do this. This is really cool. Do you think you should? What other ways do you think? I think another way you could do it. I mean, Dental Town has 210,000 members, and I'm on your website. You got all these pictures and things. You should go to the pediatric dentistry or practice management, how to grow your practice, and post pictures and your graphics and your story. I mean, it'd be the best free marketing you could get.
We could do a blog on the Dental Town also, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, one other thing that we have available for practices is when you get the set. Let's say you want to give them away for first-time kids, patients. We sell them in bulk as well. So if anybody wants to buy the box sets in bulk, they can contact us at MightyMolarMan.com, and then we have packages specific for that. And then I mean that's something that we should post.
And how much is a box? The box comes with the book and Mighty
Molar
Man.
Yeah, they retail for $29.99. So when you buy them wholesale, you'll get regular retail wholesale prices on that.
And what are so say it again? It's $29.99 if you buy one, but if you buy
them wholesale, so you're buying a pallet at a time.
What's a pallet? How many is that?
About 100 units.
100 units. Then what are we
looking at? 50% is the 50% of the MSRP. So what is that? $15 a unit.
What did you say? SRP?
MSRP.
Manufacturer suggested retail price.
Yeah.
And then so what do you do in your office? Do you have those boxes out there and sell them retail in the waiting room?
They're great promotional items for new families. They really help practices attract new families. And we know private practices are suffering out there. We all know what's happened in the last few years with corporate dentistry and the increased competition in the marketplace. These characters really give private practice dentists an advantage in something new and fresh to promote their practice with and help them to attract more families and retain more families in their practice.
Yeah, and sometimes, it seems like when one indicator gets better, like I was really excited. This is 2016, but it looks like the pounds of sugar per year per person in America actually plateaued and is now coming back down. I mean, it peaked out at about 150 pounds, and it's actually trending downward. But then you look at the next data, and 25% of American towns don't have water fluoridation, and of those towns, at least a third of them used to, but they're voting out. You guys are in very conservative Texas. I can't think of a more conservative state than that. And people are they don't like government. They don't like big government. They don't like government putting something in their water. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's the state of Florida water fluoridation in Dallas and Plano where you guys are at?
I have no idea.
No idea, Howard. Haven't been close to that topic in a long time, to tell you the truth. With the past year, I just so focused on our multimedia efforts.
Yeah, that was the one thing I wish Obama would do in his closing days. He's a lame duck president, and if they just made it a one federal law to fluoridate the water, like they do with vitamin D in milk for rickets, like they do for iodized salt to get rid of goiter. I mean, I just can't believe that the water fluoridation issue is left up to 19,000 different towns individually. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. But so talk a little bit about your practice. I mean, not only are you artistic and creative and unique and all those things, but how did you get 3 practices and you float through in Dallas and you float through you said periodontist, orthodontist, and pediatric dentist? Yeah, you're a hell of a businessman. I mean, you're an artist and a businessman.
Well, as you know, we have to wear many hats, too many hats. So the dental part, I practiced dentistry for 15 years, and I wasn't one of those that was just, gifted and naturally great with my hands. And So dentistry, I felt like I was a good dentist. I really tried hard, but it wasn't really my passion. My passion was more on the creative side and the artistic side. Um, and so I've gravitated towards that. And about 2 years ago, I made the full-time commitment to Mighty MolarMan and Friends. And this is what I do every day. So I have very competent people that pretty much run the practices, and I still am involved a little bit to ensure quality control and the patient care remains at a high level. But my heart is with Mighty Molar Man and Friends. There's no doubt. That's Juan and I work side by side like this every day. I'm glad I like Juan, and he seems to like me because we spend a lot of time together.
Well, it's interesting because by the dentists who spend all their time only on the business, like Rick Workman, he has 1,500 offices because he doesn't do fillings and crowns and root canals. Rick Kirshner has 350 offices because he doesn't do dentistry.
Right.
And I always tell these dentists, the problem is one of their biggest problems. They spend all their time learning clinical dentistry at Pankey and Spear and Coyce and placing implants, and they don't even know their numbers. I mean, they don't even know their return on equity, return on assets. They don't know their overhead, their break-even point. And here's the reward for you, that if these young dentists listening would just pay more attention to the business after 10 or 15 years. If you just want to sit around and write comic books the rest of your life, you have the freedom to do what you want. And that's a cool feeling to get up every morning and just do what you want to do instead of having to do the grind to make all your minimum monthly payments.
Yeah, true. I mean, so true. And for me, even more than that, just knowing that we're helping so many children and the special needs community in particular is a great feeling. I mean, coming to work for that makes it all worthwhile.
So, is there anything we could, the townies, you're talking to thousands of dentists. What can we do to help your mission? I mean, do you want other affiliations, or are you trying to network with an organization? What could all of our listeners do to help your mission to help the kids?
Well, if anybody has any connections with the Shark Tank, we'd like to go on that show. We're following.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Are you serious? Well, hell, you're in Dallas.
We're looking. Yeah, we've reached out.
Isn't that filmed in Dallas?
We've reached out to Mark Cuban.
It's filmed there.
No, it's not filmed there.
Where's it filmed?
I think it's in California.
I love that show. I love watching it with my boys because it's
fascinating.
It's a fascinating show, how they cut right to the chase.
But we need help in distribution and licensing, and those are the things that those guys are brilliant at.
So you want Mr. Wonderful then? You don't want Mark Cuban. You want Mr. Wonderful.
That's right.
The beautiful, sexy, bald man who just does all the licensing agreements.
Well, Barbara, Damon, Robert, all those guys.
Well, Damon is lecturing at the TBSC. The Maddow brothers, the TBSC in Las Vegas coming up.
Okay, thanks.
Have you heard of Dave Maddow and the TBSC, the best seminar ever? Well, Damon is lecturing there.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, you could walk right up to him right at that convention.
Okay.
So what's your luck with getting a hold of Cuban?
Say again?
What was your luck with finding Cuban with all, you live in his town?
Yeah.
Can you find his personal dentist?
Well, we had a contact that was a very good friend of his, and so we passed along our box set to him right around Christmas time, and we haven't heard anything yet. So we're still hopeful we'll hear from him.
Okay, well, the one thing, that 6 degrees of separation, the one thing about really successful people is all successful people have a dentist. If you ever made it to the newspaper, you can track down the dentist. And one thing I've noticed, dentists always, one-on-one, a lot of times they'll tell you who their one famous patient is. But I mean, I've I've heard so many famous people's dentists say, "Oh yeah, that guy's my patient." So maybe between the thousands of listeners right now, maybe someone knows. Maybe someone knows the dentist at one of those Shark Tank.
Or even just if
Or you could post that on Dental Town. You could just start a thread on Dental Town and just list the 5 people on Shark Tank. Actually, there's like 6 or 7 that rotate through that show.
yeah, there's a couple.
Just say, hey, does anybody know the dentist of any of these people on Shark Tank? In fact, there's a big thread on Dental Town about Shark Tank.
Oh, okay.
With 210,000 dentists on Dental Town, I bet you one of those 7 dentists will see it.
Well, and also we want to ask everybody. The big one is everybody to take the pledge. We're going to be doing a lot of box set giveaways during February. So if you take the pledge, submit your photographs on MightyMolarMan.com, right there where you can upload your pictures. We're going to be picking random people, offices, families, and giving away box sets through the month of February. So that'll be that would be a big help from it if we can get everybody to do that.
And
all right.
And Howard, I also wanted to mention our social media efforts because with the box set Molar in the Mirror was designed for families with children about age 2 or 3 to about age 10. That's the target market. But our whole array of characters, and we've got a couple of dozen characters, they were designed to appeal to all different age groups. So Mighty MolarMan Friends are not just for children. Adults are getting a big kick out of the characters, especially some of the newer characters like Biggie Smiles. He's our hip hop artist and rapper, and the Bicuspid Babes. Can we pull up an image of the Bicuspid Babes?
Yeah.
People are just loving them on Facebook and Twitter.
So or heck, you should read this book through it. Can you pull up your book? Or whatever you want to do. But
I don't have the book.
I love your book. And by the way, Juan, you're the one doing all these illustrations?
Yes, sir.
You are one talented man.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
So here's all the characters on the site. Some of the newer ones.
Go through them all. They're just adorable.
Okay, we know about Mighty Molar Man, so let's start with the next one, Miss Pearly White. She's our dental hygienist. You see Miss Pearly White, RDH, and she's got her own Facebook, Twitter. And then we know about Bacteria Boy. He's the villain. Now his little minion type cohorts are the zombie teeth, and we'll get to them in just a minute. And then we have Halitosis. She's one of our original 5 characters, and she's a real stinker. And then Dr. DK. You'll see a lot more from Dr. DK in the near future as we bring him more to life. Then we have the Deciduous Dudes. And then we have the Zombie Teeth. So the Zombie Teeth are part of the villains.
So basically with the zombie teeth, the cool thing with Bacteria Boy is that whenever he touches the teeth characters in Molar Town,
the healthy teeth characters,
yeah, he'll turn them into zombie teeth. So it's always the Molar Patrollers and Mighty Molar Man and all the good guys trying to bring them back and rescue them. Then we have Bling, she's a very, very old tooth. She's a witch. So
she's eccentric.
Eccentric, exactly. So all of her jewels keep her young, and that's kind of what gives her magical powers. Then we have K9. K9 is Mighty Molar Man's sidekick, his best friend.
Also K9 works with Mighty Molar Man to advocate for pets' oral health. And as you know, Howard, February is also National Pet Dental Health Month. So K9 and Mighty Molar Man team up to advocate for pets' oral health.
I did not know that. February is National Dental Health Month for children. But it's also National Dental Health for pets?
It's called National Pet Dental Health Month. Yes.
Huh.
So
I did not know that.
So veterinary offices are really, really starting to get into more and more of pets' oral health because it's the same thing as in humans. I mean, the oral health affects their overall health of their pets. And then we have Candyman. Candyman is another villain character. You want to talk about?
Yeah, so Candyman's really cool because he's okay. So he's made of cotton candy.
Which was invented by a dentist.
Right? Oh, was it really?
Yeah. Go to dental time. Go to dental history. I mean, it actually was patented by dentists. I think it was in Louisville, Kentucky, or.
Oh, I did not know that.
And his hands are.
And he called it fairy floss. He called it fairy floss, and it didn't take off. That was the original, and then he changed it to cotton candy.
Sounds like Dr. DK.
And that's one of my favorite jokes to kids. I said, a friend of mine genetically spliced a cotton plant with sugar cane, and now he's growing cotton candy.
Oh, that's funny.
But anyway, sorry to interrupt.
So real to kind of go over him briefly, his hands are lollipops, so when he shakes the kids' hands, the lollipops get stuck to their hands and new ones regenerate. So when all these characters, I mean, you can kind of start visualizing how everything's going to be in animation. It's going to be really fun for the kids. Then we have Gingivitis. She's the beauty queen.
Cheerleader type.
From the town. Bracey's really cool. I like her. She is a brainiac, and she builds all these robots. So one of her, I'm going to just click on her for a second here. One of her friends is another tooth robot that she builds. So we have this whole concept of doing having some of our robots have actual numbers from the, what do you call them?
Implants.
Or the implants. And then we have Biggie Smiles, who's our music star for the group. Manny Muller's the Rico Suave. Grandma Pearl, she's the fun party grandma. Princess Premoller's a real fun one.
Now, Princess Premolar, she really relates to the little girls that are like age 4, 5, 6. As I understand it, I don't have girls, but as I understand it, girls that age just love the princess, princess this, princess that. So we created Princess Premolar for girls in that age group.
Now, she's got a little twist to her princessness is that she's also a ninja. So that's another part that will, when you see more drawings of her, it's pretty fun. Then we have Necrotic. Necrotic is he's the old Western tooth that just got destroyed from chewing and everything. So he's all just black and dead, decrepit.
Howard, you'll like that. He's the story behind oral cancer. So the lesson not to use tobacco and so forth, because you'll end up like him, necrotic.
Then we got Gummy Smiles, who's Biggie's little brother, and he's kind of the little lackey. Molar Mike is our construction worker. Then we have our Wisdom Tooth, who's sort of the Jedi.
I love Wisdom Tooth. That is so cool.
Yeah,
I love the way he took the shape of the tooth and funneled it down into his beard. That's really cool.
Oh, we have some really fun stuff too with him that you guys are going to see here soon.
And you'll see as our social media is only a couple of months old with all like 10 different characters, and so you'll see different postings start to evolve, and one of them is wise words from the Wisdom Tooth, and if you follow him on Facebook and Twitter, you'll see those.
Periodontal. Then we have Slim, who is a veneer.
That's just so. I mean, on periodontal, I never thought of Perry, P-E-R-I, with the name Perry, P-E-R-R-Y. Like one of my dentist friend's daughters named Perry Permay. I mean, that's so cool.
And if you notice his complexion, Howard, it's kind of pink and reddish because he's inflammation as a periodontal disease, and he's kind of plump and swollen as happens with periodontal disease.
Then we got Uncle Mo, who's the party guy, lives on a houseboat. Bicuspid Babes, they're the dental assistants.
Oh yeah, now the bicuspid babes have been very, very popular since we've modified them recently to be dental assistants. And so their popularity on Facebook and Twitter is really growing fast. We worked really hard on the illustrations to really give that dental assistant look there. One's got their impression gun, and of course they've got their sterilization tray and their goggles, and so we really like that illustration. Juan did a great job.
And then that also was Trisha, one of our artists, that was really well bringing those characters to life.
Yeah.
And then we have the Molar Patrollers and the Molar Rescue. So the cool thing about these characters, I'm gonna switch back here.
How many was that altogether?
How many was that? That was
4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 26.
Good Lord, that's a lot of talent, a lot of work, a lot of effort. You need to post all of those on Dental Town. What do you think it would go under? Should it go under um, National Children's Dental Health Month? Should it go under pediatric dentistry? Should it go under ideas to make your practice grow under practice management?
I think it can go into all of them. We were looking at the Dental Town yesterday to kind of flow through because we were thinking about starting the blog and just kind of putting characters on there.
Yeah.
And then also doing one for Dental Health Month so that people know about the pledge and what we have going on for Dental Health Month. And then just ideas for pediatric practices. I think that would be a great other topic for that.
How many pediatric dentists are there? About 5,000?
That's 5 to 6,000.
That's a huge market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we know that pediatric practices are going to really love the characters, but most children are seen by general practices, right? So my practice is general practice. We know the characters will be very popular in general practices as well.
Now, will you have these for like posters or frames for the dental office? Are you seeing that or?
Yeah, we have it. So right now they're on Society 6, which the link, we just started putting those up, I think last week. So when you go to MightyMolarMan.com, if you go to Shop Molar Mart, you'll be able to see where everything we have available and posters. We're working on getting some more.
And Juan, you're from Bogota, and the United States has 50 million people who speak Spanish. My practice, I'm in Phoenix, so 25% of my practice speaks Spanish as a primary language. Are you thinking about ever doing this in Spanish, or do all those fancy names not really convert?
No, they convert. We're actually in the process of translating the whole website right now and doing the book in Spanish. So we're looking at offering an ebook first in Spanish. So while we get all those things set up for next year, hopefully towards the end of this year. But ultimately, the next print, we want to be able to have an English version and a Spanish version.
Oh, that's very cool.
One thing that we kind of were throwing around was having the books that do reverse. So if you look at the book from one side, it's English. And if you flip it over, then you can turn it over and it'll be in Spanish. So it can be two different languages as well. But yeah, no, definitely Spanish is the next thing.
There's actually, I think a lot of people don't realize that in the Americas, there's 330 million Americans. There's about 200 million Brazilians speaking Portuguese, but it's over 500 million Spanish-speaking people in the Americas. Yeah. It's the number one language in the Americas.
Yeah, and it's growing in the United States. It's more and more Spanish is the language to know.
And it was the only D I ever made in my life was in Spanish, high school Spanish. The only D.
Funny. Oh, wait.
Oh, we have a visitor that's coming in, Howard.
Oh, man, how cool is that? Molar Man for president. I will vote for you.
Well, it gives us another choice.
Is Molar Man more libertarian or socialist or Democrat or Republican?
He's right down the middle.
He's right down the middle? Well played. Man, that is adorable. You guys have really gone all out. I think that would be actually the first thing I would want to buy for my practice. How they have those mascots standing out in front of pizza places, haircuts for less or whatever? I mean, I would buy that today to have somebody out there for $10 an hour standing in front of my dental office on the 4-lane street, drawing attention to my dental practice.
And all that's coming. There's a lot in development on the business side.
In fact, can I just order that? Will you just tell me I'll buy the first one made commercially available? I'm on a 4-lane intersection, and the pizza place and the haircut place has a guy out there flipping a sign or whatever, and I've gone over there and talked to him, and he says it just totally impacts his business. And having Molar Man standing out there on 48th Street in Elliott with that would just be.
Yeah, we're working with two companies right now to get the mascots, but you're going to be our first phone call as soon as that's ready.
Because I tried standing out in front of my office wearing a Speedo with a cape, and I almost went bankrupt.
So Howard, we're in the legal process right now with our lawyers working on Mighty MolarMan and Friends affiliate. licensing agreements. It'll be a real simple agreement that practices can license the characters to use in their practice and to promote dental health in their community and in their practice, and to give them a real advantage in the marketplace and something new and fresh, where they can link their practice to MightyMolarMan.com and claim their practice as home of Mighty Molar Man and Friends.
I mean, you guys, I mean, you guys think without gravity. I mean, you just. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, you guys are. Is there any companies that you think that you need to talk to also? I mean, is there any dental companies out there that you would like to have a conversation with?
Sure. I mean,
manufacturers, co-branding. I think that, I mean, we feel that
any of them come to mind?
Friends,
Oral-B,
Oral-B would be a great one.
Crest, Colgate. I mean, in the near future, I mean, our dreams are that, you know, you'll walk into Walgreens or Walmart or the big retailers, and you'll see Mighty Molar Man and Friends co-branded dental products, a full line of co-branded dental products.
Shoot me an email, howard@dentaltown.com, and if there's any company that you want to talk to, I'll reply to you with their CEO and or some friend there, and start a conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Howard.
What do you think about Smart Practice? They do a lot of this type of stuff. What are your thoughts on Smart Practice?
I think they're a good potential partner.
Yeah. Do you want to talk to Jim and Naomi Road about that?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I think Jim and Naomi have been creative people like that. They're the only other creative people like this that comes to my mind.
You know, Howard. What's interesting? I've been in business with my practices for a long time now, and offered all kinds of different services and products through my practices. Mighty Molar Man and Friends have been the only product or service that I've ever offered that has had 100% satisfaction and appeal. We haven't met one person yet at all the conventions we've been to the past year and all the engagement on social media that didn't just absolutely love these characters. I mean, 100%. And so that really inspires us.
Well, you know what would be a great marketing arm for you? A lot of the companies like 3M, Ultradent, a lot of these big companies, they look on Dental Town and they say, okay, who are the people with like 5,000 posts? And they'll fly, like Ultradent will fly 100 of them down to South Jordan, Utah, just to pick their brains, and they want to get in the front of the people that do all the posting. You guys should go to the Townie meeting. Go to towniemeeting.com. We have an annual meeting in Las Vegas, and every year thousands of townies show up, and they're all the hardcore posters. And you guys are good guys, and if you went there pressing the flesh and shaking their hand, these are people that post all day, every day on Dental Town. They'll blast out your message.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
And
sure.
yeah, and then that the other meeting in Vegas is TBSC with the Maddow brothers, and they got Damon speaking. So yeah, you should go to the Townie meeting. Go to towniemeeting.com. I think it's
when's the next one?
When's the next one, Ryan? March 30th to April 2nd at the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas. That's my favorite hotel down there because it's the newest one.
Okay.
And or Aria might be the newest one, but yeah, I love that place. But that man, you just hung out there, shaking hands with all those. I mean, they're the biggest social media names in dentistry. I mean, you either get social media, it's either a part of your personality or it's not. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like all my friends, like they're either not on Facebook or they're on Facebook and Twitter and Dental Town and Pinterest and LinkedIn, and it's kind of like an all or none thing. And I almost think with dentists, it's only about an 80-20 thing. It really, to me, only looks at about 1 in 5 dentists are into it, and the other 4 out of 5 say, I don't get it.
You know what we're seeing now that we've got all of our characters on Facebook and Twitter is that the millennials are just loving it.
And a millennial is someone who turned of age and got a driver's license around the millennium 2000, right?
So yeah, they're loving it. Just like, we've really studied the Muppets and Peanuts in what they're doing and what they're doing on social media in particular. And there's some good stuff to really look at there and to pattern our characters after. And
That was one of my earlier jokes. Why did Snoopy become a dentist?
Why?
Because he wanted to work for peanuts.
Oh, I saw that tweet. I saw that tweet. That's funny.
But
Well,
hey, go ahead.
Social media note real quick. One of the things that we found on the practices here is engaging the patients. So we have signs.
Social media signs.
Like wisdom tooth, and like during Star Wars, may the floss be with you, and the molar the merrier.
And then there's Biggie Smiles.
99 problems with decay ain't one of them. Biggie Smiles.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Zombie tooth is I can't feel my face. So we're going to make some of these available also on the website, probably in the next week or two, so practices can download them and have fun. You know, if you're going to post stuff online with your patients, hold something up that's going to be funny, something different, that it'll be available. But I'll send you guys a link with all that information as well.
You know, the main thing, one of our main goals is that dentists, dental hygienists, dental assistants, the whole dental staff, anyone who works in the dental industry, whether it be a dental supply company or someone who processes claims at Cigna or Delta Dental, we just want to provide a vehicle for them on a daily basis to come and be entertained and just laugh and just give a little joy and fun, bring a little fun to the whole dental profession and industry and experience. And that's what we're really striving to do on social media, especially right now. But we'll have a full a full line of multimedia that grows and expands. So we're really looking forward to it.
Well, I love both of you guys. I love your mission. I love what you're doing. Any dentist out there with kids or grandkids knows that this is really why we became dentists, to prevent disease. I mean,
Yeah.
Firemen spend more of their time going around and checking on sprinklers and fire codes and all that than they do running into a building on fire, because they put so much time on prevention that they don't have all these houses burning down like they did in the 1800s and 1900s. So I adore you guys. I'm so proud of you guys. I wish you the best of luck. And if you ever need any help, just email me, howard@dentaltown.com, or go into Dentaltown and post that. And those townies will, anything you need, those townies, one of them will have the connection or help or whatever.
Awesome.
Well, you were very gracious, Howard, and we really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you. And I hope you guys have a rocking good day. And I'm sorry about your Dallas Cowboys. I'm sorry about your quarterback. But now you can just sit back and root for the Arizona Cardinals.
Hey, the new Cowboys that everybody despises are the Patriots, right?
All right, guys. Well, congratulations, and thank you for all that.